Tonight we have singer-songwriter and R&B sensation Rayvon Owen and Ross Bridgeman. And from Richmond, Virginia comes an R&B artist who is ready to share his music with the world. Rayvon Owen has dreamed of a life dedicated to music career since he was a young boy. Influenced by R&B pop artists such as Eric Bennett, Justin Timberlake, Johnny Lang, Usher, and John Legend, Rayvon has a voice that could only be described as smooth, sexy, and one of a kind. Please give a round of applause for Rayvon Owen and Ross Bridgeman.
You didn't have to read that part of the Bible. How y'all doing? Oh, come on. You could do better than that, sir. How you doing? Y'all ready to have some fun with me? All right, let's go. Come on. Give me your attention, baby. Put your hands together. I gotta tell you a little something about yourself. You're wonderful, flawless, ooh, you're a sexy lady. But you walk around here like you wanna be someone else. Sing it with me. Oh, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine. Sing. Fine, so fine. Oh, girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh mine. Y'all help me out. Sing treasure. That is what you are. Honey, you're my golden child. You know you can make my wish come true if you let me treasure you. Y'all know this? If you let me treasure you. Ooh, ooh. Pretty girl, you can be smiling. A girl like you should never look so blue. You're everything I see in my dreams. I wouldn't say that to you if it wasn't true. Ooh. Oh, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine, baby. Fine, so fine. Oh, girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh mine. Come on, y'all. Say treasure. That is what you are. Honey, you're my golden sun. You know you can make my wish come true if you let me treasure you. I know y'all know this. If you let me treasure you. Ooh, ooh. Clap. You my treasure. You my treasure. You my treasure. Yeah, you are. You my treasure. You my treasure. You my treasure. Yeah, you are. You my treasure. You my treasure. You my treasure. Yeah, you are. You my treasure. You my treasure. You my treasure.
I'm here with Rayvon Owen and Ross Bridgeman, members of Rayvon Owen and Company. They just finished performing for the ASU Students. How are you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic.
All right. That was a great. I'm doing good. That was a great performance.
Thank you so much.
You both are really talented.
Thank you so much.
Talented. Is this your first time in Texas performing?
This is not. This is our. We performed at Texas Women's University, and we performed at another school near Dallas, I believe.
This is our second trip to Dallas, actually. Or not to Dallas, second trip to Texas.
This is our second week in Texas, anyway.
And how do you like Texas?
I love it.
Well, it's a little rainy today, but...
Is it different from LA?
So different, so different. Although we were just in Michigan last week, and I'm glad to say we're not freezing here, so it's nice because it's really cold up there.
And you both were just up there this morning, right? Or you flew down to Texas from Michigan?
Yeah, we flew down. Yeah, we caught a flight. Well, it was supposed to be early this morning, but it got delayed, of course. So we came straight from the airport to here.
Well, that's good. We're glad to have you all here tonight.
Thank you.
So tell me a bit about your backgrounds. Are you both from Richmond, Virginia, or just you, Rayvon?
No, I'm from Richmond. I actually met Ross is from Phoenix. Okay. I met him in Nashville, Tennessee.
Really?
That's where I went for school. We both went to Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we just played randomly throughout college, and then both happened to move out to LA at the same time.
Yeah, I moved like a week after. He says I followed him.
Yeah.
It's kind of true.
I moved first.
How's the music scene in Nashville? What is that like? Is it mostly
cool.
country or is it diverse?
I mean, of course, it's a lot of country, a lot of CCM, a lot of indie stuff, but it's very diverse. I mean, I've played with Ross at a lot of different venues in Nashville, around town, and
Yeah, with a lot of different styles of music
yeah,
as well.
it's a huge live music scene. Reminds me of Boston, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you both meet other up-and-coming musicians like yourself, or were they different with the genre of music that they performed? Or did they perform R&B and pop like you do?
I will say there's a little less R&B pop stuff going on there,
Really?
but there's definitely a community of that, and there's a lot of writers' rounds and kind of jazz cafe nights that they do. You'll find a lot of R&B and soul musicians and artists there.
Yeah, but Rayvon, I feel like you're pretty unique to Nashville, which is one reason I wanted to move to LA, because I wanted to find more
Yeah,
of the pop.
And how does
sound.
the music scene in LA differ from the one in Nashville and other places of music like Atlanta, New York City, and Austin, Texas?
yeah. LA. I just moved there in June,
You did?
but
My friend just moved there in July.
oh really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're pretty
We're
new.
pretty new, so we're still learning. We're still finding our
Feeling
way.
it out.
But I will say you do meet people very quickly, and people tend to follow up really fast. Like Nashville's kind of got more laid back. It's like a smaller big city, But LA is like boom, boom, boom. So you meet people, and you never know who you're going to run into. There's so many, producers and
it's great for
managers.
networking, too,
Yes,
as well.
It's fantastic. Yes, great for networking.
That's
Even
good.
at my old job, when I first moved out there, I would just meet people all the time in the industry who worked behind the scenes.
And are you both performing there right now, or what do y'all do in LA currently?
Yeah, doing more writing and recording right now since we've been touring in August, so we haven't had a lot of time to perform in LA, but we did a few shows. Actually, I got to perform at the House of Blues, which is
wow.
a legendary venue, which is awesome. And
I think they have one here in Texas too. I'm not sure where.
Oh,
but I think
Yeah,
they
there's
do.
a lot of different ones.
yeah, so this is
But yeah, that was fun.
the one in Hollywood. So it was a really cool place. We performed there twice. They asked us to come back, and then we performed at a couple other venues like in Hollywood and around town. Yeah.
So growing up, when did you both discover your talent and passion for music and singing?
Well,
first.
I kind of started singing when I was like 5 or 6 in church.
Wow, that's
like,
young.
Yeah, I was really young. My mom always jokes that the those old microphones with like the big foam covers on
Yes.
top. She said it was as big as my face. You couldn't even see my face, so you just hear me singing. But I started off singing in the children's choir at church, and from there have not stopped since. I joined the school choir. I joined the Richmond Boys Choir, which is like a nonprofit organization for guys between age of 7 and 17, which we got to sing at the White House and sing for the Queen of England and sing all for different artists.
At
like
such a young age,
Jarrell.
too.
Yeah, so I did that for about six years, which was great. And I actually went to high school for musical theater, so I kind of got a diverse background. Singing
upbringing
classical,
as well.
jazz, musical theater, gospel, of course my own stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And you, Ross?
Yeah, I grew up playing piano from like age 5, and pretty much all classical. And I also grew up in the church. So played in church and classical, and it wasn't until college that I started playing this kind of stuff. Because I'd never played it, didn't really know how.
Did you have
So-
piano lessons when you were younger? You
Yeah,
did?
I took classical piano, and I was definitely into it. And,
How did-
I
did
didn't
both
stick
of
to
your-
my piano.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did?
Did not.
Do you
why I gotta play it.
play an instrument as well?
I do a little piano, and I'm learning guitar. I'm starting to take it on I just bought a guitar, so I'm trying to.
it's never too late.
It's never too late. It's never too late. So I'm like strumming a few chords, but
Well, I learned We Found Love on the keyboard, but that's about it.
that's a
There you
pretty.
go.
And you guys played that tonight too.
We
by
did
the
sing
way, right?
We
Yeah,
Found
I
Love,
liked
yeah.
it. It was really
Yeah, that's
good.
fun.
Not like Rihanna, but
Okay, so what artists and musicians did you guys look up to when you were younger that influenced you the most?
I really listen to a lot of gospel music, of course. So like, you know, your big Donald McClurkin, Kirk Franklin, those big gospel legends. But I really got into a lot of older artists and pulled from those kind of like Motown artists like Stevie Wonder and Lionel Richie, and listen to Whitney Houston. Yeah, just great vocalists like that is who I was really drawn to as a child, and listened to a lot of those artists. And then of course, you know, the current music. I didn't listen to a lot of current music as a child, but you know, as I started getting like middle school and high school, I started listening to. But I was all about the classics at first, and like. And musicals.
Definitely listen to the oldie station for sure.
And was that brought upon by your parents? Did they raise you around that genre of music, the classics?
Yeah, a little bit. My mom did listen to. She listened to a lot of gospel, and then she would occasionally listen to some of that stuff. And I think once you get in all those choirs and you start to learn so many songs by these artists, you know, we did like arrangements of, you know, Donny Hathaway or Luther Vandross songs or Stevie Wonder songs, or you know, just a lot of different of those legendary artists. And so that really led me to dig into more. Thanks to YouTube, it's like I just listen to every style.
And you, Ross?
Yeah, I mean, just a whole plethora of stuff. I definitely grew up listening to the oldie station. My dad was big into musical theater and like all sorts of strange international type world music and all sorts of stuff. So I got into all of it. And I mean, in terms of actually playing and songwriting, Five for Fighting was a big guy for me. Jack Johnson, I got into Jack Johnson. A lot of singer-songwriter type people. And then
so you both had a pretty artistic and theatrical upbringing then.
Yeah, it's funny because when we first started playing, they were like, "Wait, you did theater?" Yeah, you did too.
Yeah, it's really funny.
You listen to this kind of? Oh, me too. You know,
opposite sides of the country.
But we've had a similar kind of upbringing. It's just kind of interesting.
Well, speaking of theater, are you two involved in any musicals or plays?
I was in college, but not as much anymore. Actually, Ross is currently in a production.
Yeah, I'm actually flying back to Nashville tomorrow I'm doing a production of Into the Woods.
Really? Can you tell us a bit about that play? Or musical?
Yeah, it's fun. It's
is it a musical?
It's a musical. Okay. It's a bunch of fairy tales all thrown into one, and it gets really crazy towards the end, and it's kind of like fairy tales gone wrong. But it's really fun. It's a really great Stephen Sondheim musical. But yeah, I kind of do go between shows and playing with Rayvon and a whole different variety of music and
wearing
theater.
A lot of hats.
Just kind of wherever I can get work and whatever opportunities present.
Which do you have more of a flair for theater or for performing?
Man, it's pretty even right now, but
well, they're very different.
They're very different.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love playing and writing, and I love the excitement that you get from creating something, creating new art, and the excitement of playing that for other people and you know, have them listen to that. And then I also love being part of a story and being part of a whole production that's, you know,
that's one aspect of
has
theater.
A life and then, you know, ends and you do another one, and so it's just, you know, it's a different sort of thing. But I don't know, I couldn't tell you which one I like more.
Well, you both like to write, right? Like write your songs stuff. There's one song that I really liked tonight. Was it I Won't Change? Was that what it's called?
I Won't Change. Yeah. I actually didn't write that.
Oh, you didn't write that one?
No, that's one of my good friends, Cameron Bedell and David Smith, actually wrote that with me in mind. You know, so I occasionally I will sing songs that others have written for me. But
so they wrote that song about you. Or they wrote
not about me, but they, you know, just, you know, him being a good friend of mine and like knowing my background and knowing, you know, where I've come from and everything like that. And I helped, you know, with the arrangement of the song, and like, I guess technically I changed some words. I could be called a songwriter on the song, but I didn't really write it.
Get 10%.
Yeah, I get like, you know, 10%.
You just tweaked it a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
My name could still be on it, but.
But what made you want to perform that song tonight to the audience?
You know,
because it was really deep and heartfelt, so that's why, compared to the other songs you guys performed tonight that were fun and all of them were very beautiful, but this one really hit me to heart. So
Yeah,
what made you
it's-
want to do that?
You know, I always tell people like a part of, you know, what I want to give when I come do performances, when I, you know, the experience that I want to give is, you know, I want to make people laugh, I want to make people dance, I want to make people have fun, and I want to make people cry, I want to make people think, you know, but I always want to leave people with a message or leave people with something to, you know, go home with, you know. I mean, of course, yeah, you're going to have a good time and we're all going to have fun and sing and dance and laugh and all that good stuff. But it's always good to, you know, take advantage of the platform that you have to really inspire people. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I mean, I think music is so important. It's such an important tool in inspiring others and
that's
being
why I like
positive.
playing with you is because, you know, we could definitely just keep it all fun and games and just do fun stuff, but
You want to
Yeah.
impact the audience on a personal
Exactly,
level.
exactly. So it's kind of like, you know, you grab their attention with all the fun stuff and stuff that people know, and then as you go along the show, then you start to take them throughout a journey and take them throughout, you know, and throughout my personal life, my relationships, what I've learned from that, you know. A lot of my originals are about that, and then leave them something to go home with. So.
If you two could collaborate with any musician in the world, who would it be? Deceased or still alive?
oh
Ooh.
man, I know you love Stevie.
I do like Steve. If
Well,
I
he's
could,
great.
if I could sing with Whitney Houston, I really wanted to do that. That's one person I always wanted to like duet with. Oh gosh, I don't know. Who would you?
This is totally random, but this artist named Father John Misty, super
Who's that?
totally random, but
Father John Misty.
he used to play with Fleet Foxes, and
Okay.
he's a super cool songwriter, kind of
What genre of music
out there.
is it?
Folky.
Okay.
Not what I typically do as much, so I think it would be a really neat blend of like what I do good and then what he does good. And I feel like that's when you get some really cool stuff. It's like,
That's true.
it's when you know you can collaborate with somebody and find common ground, but still bring your own thing to it, and that's when really great music happens.
I think that's why we have so much
like Sting.
good
Sting's
moments.
another one I would love to do something
There's
with.
a lot of people that I write with and producers and stuff aren't, you know, primarily like R&B pop, you know.
And you're more geared towards R&B, right? Or
Actually, the live experience will probably give you more like R&B kind of feel, but actually the records I'm working on are more pop sounding. So it's a good mixture of both.
I know who you want to collaborate with, Katy Perry.
Oh yeah, I love Katy Perry.
you do?
Yes.
What do you think about? Because you're such a good vocal. You have a great voice.
Thank
but,
you.
I might be too harsh saying this, but I don't think Katy Perry has really much of a great voice.
I
So
understand.
you know,
Yeah,
I mean, would you prefer to work with someone like, for example, like you said, Whitney Houston, someone who has great vocals and who's
Yeah,
brilliant?
except Whitney would out-sing me. That's the problem. No,
Yeah.
but no, I like Katy Perry for several reasons because I think I can relate to her story. You know, like I wasn't like a huge fan or anything until I watched the movie, that Katy Perry movie.
but she came from like a gospel background, right?
Right, which is kind of where I came from. And you know, she tried, you know, because I wrote God. That was the first type of music I actually started writing. You know, was Christian music, and I kind of, you know, like her story and watching her break out and kind of studying how they are marketing her career. I really like too.
Yeah, I don't think you'll quite be
and
singing
she-
like I Kissed a Girl.
No, I won't
but-
break out with the I Kissed the Girl. But, you know, if she never released that song, if she never released I Kissed the Girl, she wouldn't be as big as she is now. You know,
Yeah,
and
that's
her
true.
recent record is more serious.
Prism, right? Or the album, yeah.
It's more serious and it's I can really relate to the songs and it's mature, and I think it would never be as successful as it is if it wasn't for Teenage Dream and I Can See and stuff like that. But I just really like her story, and I really like, and as far as her voice, I think she's a great voice. But one thing I really like is that, you know, when you do watch live videos of her, she, you know, even though you might not be able to compare her to like someone like Whitney Houston or Celine Dion or something like that, but she does have a lot of passion and a lot of emotion behind her voice, which I love because you can relate to that, you know, whether you think the voice is fantastic or not. I think emotion is a huge part of it.
Well, I like to think my voice is fantastic, but it's not.
Hey, if you got some
Maybe
emotion,
in the shower, but
you got emotion behind it. That's all you need.
And you can probably make it work for you.
Right.
So I want to ask you about this. What did your parents think when you guys wanted to pursue music? Were they against it, or were they like, go for something else, a different kind of path towards your career?
My mom was surprisingly very supportive. As she wasn't as supportive as first as me moving to Nashville, but I think she realized that I was really serious and I would actually have to take the next step to move to a more musical town than Richmond, Virginia. But she's always been supportive. Like, she's ran me to so many rehearsals and so many concerts and practices and gotta get clothes and gotta, she's done all that. She's been really, really supportive. She's been my biggest support. Still is my biggest supporter. So
And you, Ross?
My parents have been, I've been blessed to have really awesome parents who, especially with piano, like everybody has a time when they want to quit piano, and
me.
and some people do, and I fortunately, my mom was smart enough to see that there was something there, and so kept pushing me through the hard parts, and I stuck it out. So, but definitely supportive.
That's good to hear. It's very good to hear. So, you said you have upcoming events. So, where can individuals go to find out information about that? Is there a website or?
You can go to my website, rayvonowen.com.
Okay.
I apologize, I do need to update the calendar a little bit. It's a little behind.
Get to it.
But that I will do that. I will be updating that calendar, as well as always tweet like where I'm going and stuff like that. So
so they can also follow you on Twitter. And,
Twitter.
And
at
do you have a
Rayvon
YouTube channel?
Owen. Yes, YouTube.com/Rayvon Owen. Facebook.com/Rayvon Owen Music.
Okay, and what was the Twitter? I'm sorry, I cut you
Twitter
off.
is at Rayvon Owen. Everything is Rayvon. Just
Same with me. Ross Bridgeman.
Ross Bridgeman, yeah.
Okay.
So just go to rayvonowen.com and you'll see all the links there. Or just type in Rayvon Owen, it'll come up.
So my last question for you guys is, what words of advice would you give to someone who is an aspiring musician?
Oof.
Well, especially in today's world.
In today's market?
Well, forget about the market. Just in terms of today's world and technology and like how fast we get stuff. Be patient. Be patient.
Mm-hmm.
It takes patience to learn how to play an instrument. It takes patience to learn how to write a song. It takes patience how to learn how to sing and do all of that.
Yes.
And if you just be patient and put in the time, then
That's actually
happen.
the biggest thing.
Because so many people just get fed up and they just say, I
And then
can't
they
do it, I
quit.
can't do it.
Yeah.
And
You
it
gotta
takes
keep
so
going.
And
long.
you have to really want it. You have to really want it and be dedicated to it, and like you said, be patient, and also be, a lot of people get so upset because things aren't happening or people are criticizing, but as my good friend Melinda Doolittle, who's an artist, from American Idol, she always says, you gotta chew the hay and spit out the sticks. So, that's what I've had to do. Just take the criticism, take it for what it is, and learn from it, learn from other people, and ask a lot of questions, and don't be afraid to get out there and just try, because you're going to fail, but you got to get through that.
It builds character to fail.
Yes.
You can't have success if you don't fail. If you can't,
That's
you don't fail
true.
first.
Well, on that note, thank you guys for being here, and it was a great performance.
Thank
and I
you
hope
so
to see you
much.
guys here again soon.
Yeah,
I
thanks
hope
for
so
having us.
too.
Yeah, and I wish you both the best in your careers.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Tonight the air in the room tells me you have something on your mind. It's written all on your face. You've changed, and this time I can't deny. And it hurts so bad to know I had won your heart then lost it. What hurts the most is I know that it's too late to fix it, but I don't know what to say. I wish I had words, I wish I had time. Wish I could say that you're still mine. I wish I had strings to let them fight. 'Cause without you there is no I. And I could sing these words a million times, though you may never hear the song. It doesn't matter what I do if you're already gone. You're already gone. Running the years through my head, I just don't get what made these hearts undo. Was it something I said? Did I forget how to love you? It's driving me crazy, killing me, baby. I see it all there in your eyes. You don't wanna leave, and I won't lie. But girl, if I could, I'd say goodbye. But I don't know what to say. I wish I had words, I wish I had time. Wish I could say that you're still mine. I wish I had strings to let them afraid. 'Cause without you there is no I. And I could sing these words a million times, though you may never hear the song. It doesn't matter what I do. If you're already gone, you were gone like the wind. It's been 3 months, but I won't pretend. I don't spend every minute, every second, every day thinking about you. Oh, I wish I had words, I wish I had time. Wish I could say that you're still mine. I wish I had strings to let them fight. 'Cause without you there is no I. I could sing these words a million times, and you may never hear the song. And though I'm still in love with you, it doesn't matter what I do. 'Cause you're already gone. You're already gone. Thank you so much.